Hello, I want to walk you through the Earthworm Lab and mainly show you some of the parts that you're looking for. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's open up the manual, and we have the background information that we should read through, and on down here they show a diagram using a fish instead of an earthworm, but you notice the anterior end, posterior end, ventral side, dorsal side, and then those are the main directions that we need to look at. Okay, so go ahead and read through the background information. Got a little more information down here, so forth, and we'll kind of refer back to some of that. Let's go to procedures. Now then, procedures, we're going to make use of this media player. So go down here, we want to open up our media player, and we have our photo here of the earthworm. So go down here to topic 1, external anatomy, and we want to go in here and label the anterior end, posterior end, dorsal side, ventral side, and clitellum. So let's see, we're going to use the drawing tool down here and text. So let's see, we'll just go up here and click on text, and we can type in anterior end, and go down here, we can type in posterior end, we can go up here, type in clitellum, then the upper surface would be the dorsal view, the lower surface would be the ventral view. And so we can come in here and we can draw a line, anterior end, we've got the word posterior written up here, we'll have clitellum up here that we can draw a line to. This would be the dorsal side, this is the ventral side. So now we need to click save. Save that. We'll need to give it a name, but when you save it, it will go into what's called your media right here, and I'll be able to see your annotations there, your labeling. Okay, so let's go on down here to the next drawing. Let's see, I got to remember how to get rid of that. Okay, there we go. Click on Lab Media and get back to my photos, and just scroll down here. I guess I'm going to move that over a little bit. There we go. So now I can grab those arrows and come down here to the video. Okay, so I'm going to watch the video with the movement of the earthworm, and then I'm going to go down here under topic 2, locomotion, and I'm going to click on this link right here, and I'm going to put this into motion, watch the movement of this nematode. Okay, so it should start moving. Oh, I guess I got to start it. So there we go. So now we have it moving, so I'll observe that. Come back here, and then I'm going to answer the questions relating to topic 2 on the lab write-up sheet. Okay, let's go to topic 3. So cross the internal anatomy in a cross-section. Anatomy and a cross-section of the earthworm. So we want to come down here to the earthworm cross-section diagram. Now, it's not the most detailed diagram under the sun. If you want a more detailed diagram, you can go over to Google Images and just type in earthworm cross-section, and you'll get more earthworm cross-sections than you care to look at. But some of these are very good, very detailed. This one right here, you can see much more clear detail than what it shows in your lab, and so that would be a good reference. Okay, so let's go back over here now, and notice what we're going to do is we're going to use the microscope. There we go. and we're going to go down here and we're going to get the slide that says earthworm cross section, and we're going to make some we're going to get some images. So let's go to instruments. Here's microscope. Okay, materials, earthworm cross section. I'm going to put that on the slide. There it goes. I'm going to focus the slide by turning the focal knob right there. Brings it into focus. And I'm going to go down here and I'm going to bring this in a little bit closer. Kind of like that. I'm going to scoot that over so I can work with it. I'll scoot this one a little bit out of the way. Okay, so scoot this over a little bit. There we go. Okay, now then, I'm going to take a snapshot of this. I can actually make my drawings right here on this, but the first thing I'm going to do is take a snapshot of this screen, and this is my earthworm cross section, and here on the objective it says 1x, so I'm going to go 1x on that. Okay, let me get this out of the way. Okay, so I can go give it a description here if I want. Okay, there we go. We're going to save that. Okay, so now then I'm going to come down here to, it should be under your media perhaps. Let me try erasing this. Here we go. Let me see if I have it down here. Okay. Should be down here at the bottom. Oh, I don't see it in there. Okay, to get that image to show up in my photos here, what I'll have to do is close this and then come back down here, reopen this as your media. Now it should be down there. Yep, there it is. Okay, so I can open this now. I can work with it. Here's my drawing tool, and I can come in here and I can use the drawing tool and put some lines in here, and I can then label that. This is the intestine. This projection into the intestine is called the typhlosoal, and the word typhlosoal, let me find it over here. Here it is, typhlosoal. So that's that projection into the intestine, and what that does, that increases the amount of surface area in here for absorption. The intestine itself is the open space right here. What else can we find? The coelom right here is all this open material, this open space. Actually it's fluid filled, but this space in between the intestinal chamber right here and the outer wall. Then we have longitudinal muscle and circular muscle. We need to go in a little bit closer for these parts right here. These blood vessels, we can find those. Dorsal is the upper side. This right here would be the dorsal blood vessel right there. Down here, this little spot is the ventral blood vessel. And I didn't notice it before starting this, but we can actually see some of the nervous tissue right here. Now it's not marked for something that we have to identify because I didn't notice it. We could easily find it. So we can identify all those parts. We're still looking for this and these parts right here. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to use lines to identify these different parts, and then use my text tool to put a name on them. Then I'm going to save this, and then it'll be in your media, and I can come back and look at what you saved. Okay, let's go back to our microscope now. let me move this out of the way. And let's go in a little bit closer. There's 2x. And I'm going to move this over. This is kind of a hassle. Right here. There we go. I'm going to go in a little closer again. There's 4x. I'll move it over a little bit more. Actually, it's y-axis. I guess I'm moving it down. Okay, here we go. Now then, we want the cuticle, epidermis, circular muscle, and longitudinal muscle. Right out here on the very edge, we don't really even see the layer of it. But on the very edge would be the cuticle. This next layer right here is the epidermis. Then this layer right here is the circular muscle. It encircles the body of this worm. Okay, then all of this tissue right here, that is the longitudinal muscle running along the length of this earthworm. Okay, so once again, I would take a snapshot of this. I would name it and then go ahead and save it. And let me just type something in there. I'll name it, I'll save it, and then I'll again have to close this, reopen it from down here, and my photo should be there, and I can go in, use the drawing tools, and label all these parts. Okay, now let's look for one more part. The nephridiopore. I probably didn't pronounce that correctly. Okay, so let's see, let me get that out of the way. Now we need to move this again. So I'm going to move this back up. Whoops, move the whole scope. Move it back up, back up, back up, back up. Here we go. Right there. Now you might have to look around for a while. I knew there was one here at the bottom. But nephridiopore, that is the that's an opening for the excretory system on this worm. Okay, so we can get a snapshot of that, then open up the snapshot and label it. Okay, so let me remove this slide. We'll get rid of that slide, and we're going to get another slide here for the CT. Bring that into focus, and it's like we're going to have to go in a little bit closer and then move this over. Well, I moved it down. Okay, here we go. Here's the nephridiopore right there, and then right next to it is this little hair-like structure. That would be the CT. Okay, so again, take snapshot and then label the parts. Okay, so right down here, part 2 under topic 3 is where it asks you to look for the CT. Now one more part of this. Let's go down here to topic 4, and we want to look for the septa. Okay, so we're going to go to the media player and move this over where we move it. We're going to go down here to this one, and these walls right here are the septa. This is what sets off the sections of the worm. Okay, and so again, I want to use my drawing tool and label those, then save the photo. Okay, and hopefully this YouTube will help you get through this lab, and good luck with the lab. Thank you. Goodbye.